everybody, so today I am going to be talking about a dream that I had about 4 years ago, I think. And the reason why I want to talk about this dream is because it was so intense and it was so different from the types of dreams that I've had before, which normally I do have pretty crazy dreams, but this one was like one of the most memorable. So in this dream, I feel like I had it not at night, I feel like I had it more in the morning. Like, I don't know if you've ever had dreams where you realize it wasn't the first dream you had, it was like one of the last ones before waking up. So it was like that for me. It started off with a whole different dream. So in this other dream, the dream was about my friend who at the time was going through a family kind of like a family crisis. So I'll just tell you what I saw in the dream about her. So in that dream of her, I saw her exiting this house that was burning. It was like on fire, she was leaving it, and then as she left, it like exploded behind her. It was very epic. And so I woke up from that dream and immediately I was like, I need to text her, I need to tell her the dream that I just had about her, because I feel like maybe she'll be able to resonate with what's going on right now with her family. This was literally in the morning. Like I said, I woke up, I text her, my phone's right next to me, so I text her and I tell her literally word for word what I saw in the dream. Then I put my phone away and then I walked to the living room. I lived with my mom at the time, so I walked to the living room and I saw my mom just paying her taxes at the dining table. From there, her dog caught my attention because he was barking, and he was barking at the corner of the room, and I thought it was very strange. So I just look at him and I'm like, why is he barking at the corner of the room? It seemed like, I guess, I don't know if you've seen scary movies where like the animal's barking at a ghost but you can't see it, but he's barking at something. So it reminded me of that. And I was like, that's strange that he's barking. And he was barking aggressively, and it's kind of weird because normally he only barks like that if he's coming across a stranger. But my mom was just like deeply set on paying her taxes, and I was like, don't you see your dog over there? Like, he is barking at the corner of the room. And as I looked at her to tell her that, I realized that her dog was actually in front of me, like on the floor, under the table that she was paying the taxes on. So I looked back at him to see if he was still at the corner of the room, and sure enough, he was. So obviously I was dreaming because I saw two dogs at the same time, which were both my mom's dog. So the one is over here barking, the other one's over here underneath, and then I just do like back and forth, like I'm like, wait, he's here, but he's here, but he's here. So not only is he here and here, but now I start seeing like multiple, like several, just more and more copies of him, like running back and forth, and they just keep multiplying. And I'm like, okay, I'm dreaming. Like, I'm dreaming, this is crazy, I can't believe, I'm like, this feels so real, like what am I supposed to do? And I try to get my mom's attention, but she was just ignoring me. Normally, if my mom is there and I need help, I'm gonna like cry to her and like get her to help me in some kind of way, especially in this dream where I'm like, you need to help me get out of this dream. But she just ignored me and continued to pay her taxes. So then randomly on the table, like I did everything I could to wake up. Like I just ran around the house and I just couldn't. So I went back to her and I was like, how do I wake up? I saw on the table that there was this random hammer, just a random hammer there. So my first thought was like, okay, maybe I'm supposed to hit myself on the head with this hammer. Like maybe that's gonna snap me out of it. Maybe that's gonna wake me up. So I grab the hammer, and as soon as I grab it, that's when my mom finally reacts and she's like, no, don't do it. And I look at her in the eyes and I'm like, I have to do it. Like, I can't stay here. I am sleeping, I'm dreaming right now. And she's just telling me like, no, don't do it. And I grab the hammer, hit myself on the head, and nothing. I didn't feel it. I didn't wake up. Nothing happens. And I was like, dang it. So then I was like, okay, what if I go to my room and I lay down on the bed, the same position that I'm currently sleeping in? Maybe somehow I'll wake up. So I go to my room, I do exactly that. I close my eyes, and when I open them, I wake up. So that was crazy. So again, I'm like, okay, let me text my friend before I forget this dream I had of her. Let me just text her and tell her the dream. As I finish texting my friend, I am interrupted by this person that walks into my room, and this person happens to be someone that I recognize from high school. I'm just like, why are you here? And she tells me that the reason why she's here is because she's actually dead. And then as she's talking to me, these other people walk into the room. I'm not alarmed or anything, I guess because this person that I used to know is here talking to me, establishing the setting, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but I just didn't feel scared. I didn't feel threatened. So these people start walking in. Some of them I also recognize from the past, and others I don't recognize at all. And they all start telling me the same thing, that they are dead, that they're not alive, and that I'm able to talk to them. And the reason why is because my great-grandmother, which is my grandma's mom, obviously, she apparently also had the ability to talk to spirits. So this is what these spirits are telling me about my great-grandmother. And I thought that it was very strange because I had never, it was news to me. I didn't know that my great-grandmother could talk to spirits. So they were telling me something I didn't know. And at the same time, I thought it was very interesting. And they're telling me that she had this ability and that I also have that same ability, which is why I'm able to talk to them. And they started telling me that the reason why it was so important to them that I understood that I also had that same ability is because when she did it, she was able to help people. And so basically the main purpose of me having the same ability is to also be able to help people. So they're telling me all these crazy things, and then I realize that I'm dreaming and I wake up instantly. So I go find my mom. I don't even text my friend this time. I go and find my mom, and I can't find her. I look in her room, she's not there. So I go to the living room, and when I go to the living room, I see my sister there eating a sandwich, watching SpongeBob or something. And her sandwich looked good. I'm a big sandwich person, so I told myself, like, okay, let me go make myself a sandwich and let me just chill right here on the couch with her. So I do exactly that, and I'm watching the cartoon with her. I'm typically a messy eater, so I had some chips that I was eating, and I think they ended up falling. And my sister had absolute no reaction, which I thought was weird because she is a very OCD neat freak type of person, and if I were to drop anything, she's gonna have some kind of silly reaction towards it. So she had no reaction at all. And so I thought it was weird, and I was like, okay, let me just pick it up, I guess. And then I was like, you know what? She is so weirdly fixated on this TV right now. Let me see what happens if I actually accidentally drop my whole plate. I wanted a reaction out of her. So I dropped the whole plate, and she continues to stare at the TV. And quickly I realized that I'm dreaming still. So at this point, try not to freak out. I'm like, okay, what do I do? I'm dreaming. I know I'm dreaming. And this has been happening. I don't know how long I've been dreaming the same dream that I can't get out of. So I was like, let me see if I pinch myself, if I feel it. And so I pinch myself, and I actually feel it, which was crazy, but it felt real. I could actually feel myself pinching my skin, and I was just mind blown. So then I think this time I was like, okay, well, what worked for me last time was running to my bed and just being in the same position that I knew that I was in. So I was like, okay, let me run to my bedroom. I didn't even carefully lay down. I just jumped into the bed. As I jumped, I could feel myself wake up. And this time I think I actually woke up finally, for real. So I was like, okay, I think I'm actually awake this time. So again, I grab my phone, I text my friend, tell her about the dream I had of her, and I go straight to find my mom. And she's in her room. I don't tell her about the whole dream. I just get straight to the point, and I ask her hey, was your grandma able to talk to spirits? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, she was able to talk to spirits. So she lived in Mexico, and at the time, they call them, like the people, like maids, they call them sirvientos, which translates into servants. So they're actually like maids and like helpers around the house, but they call them servants. So she would have her maids look up and dig up buried treasure that these spirits told her to find. And someone recently told me that it makes sense that these spirits even back when they were alive even buried their treasures to begin with, because apparently there was some situation in Mexico where they were taking belongings from people, so they were hiding them, so that way that they wouldn't take it. And so, I mean, I don't know if there was more of a purpose or what they would do with the treasure. I don't think my mom knows, but yeah, so every time my great grandma would tell someone to get this treasure out, it was always there. So it was always true that there was something buried, and that eventually the maids and the people that would help her just decided not to help her anymore because they started getting really freaked out. I think they're getting paranoid at night and like feeling like someone was pulling at their feet and things like that. So they didn't want anything to do with it anymore. I don't know if there was anything else that she would do. I know she was somewhat psychic, but that's the extent that my mom was able to tell me. And then I ended up telling my mom, and I told my sister about the rest of the dream. But when I Googled the type of dream that I had, apparently there is a name for it, and it's called nested dreams. So basically what a nested dream is, it's a dream that you think you wake up from, but you're not. Like, you could literally go about your whole day thinking you actually went to work and everything, and realize eventually that you're still dreaming, and then you wake up, but you wake up into another dream. So throughout that whole time, I thought I was waking up, but I wasn't. I was waking up and getting into a whole nother dream. That's why they call it nested dreams. And that was my first and only experience with having a nested dream, which I think is very crazy. And crazy that the information I got from that dream turned out to be true. So ever since then, I've been trying to figure out if I'm actually able to talk to spirits or not. Since then, I have had a few dreams of people that have passed away that I had this weird connection with. And I honestly think that if I were to practice more of this, I don't even know what to call it, but if I were to practice more, that I would be able to probably tap into it more. But anyway, that was my dream. If you guys have anything that y'all would like to share, maybe you guys have also have had a nested dream, then I definitely want to hear about it. Or if you have questions about my nested dream experience, then please feel free to leave it in the comments. But either way, I'd like to hear from you guys. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Bye.